acquisition. I'm going to talk about the pricing and lineup that you need to focus on. I'm going to drill into the various different media types that almost no one ever talks about. I'm going to drill into merch at a high level. I'm going to show you some customer inspiration, and then we're going to talk about marketing your art and our newest offering, which is called Copilot. And so let's dive right in and get started. Your art on a website. Now, this one is pretty self-explanatory. I think most of you guys understand that you need to have your art up on a website. It needs to be beautifully displayed. It has to have the ability to take orders. You need the ability to be able to print and ship those orders all without you lifting a finger. And your website needs to have advanced marketing features. You need to have the ability to capture leads. You need to have the ability to run sales and use discounts and do coupon codes. It helps if you have pre-order bumps and post-order bumps. We can get into that later. And I don't want to make all of today specifically about art selling websites. I could do an entire deep dive on this that would be really, really crazy. But suffice to say, I've got an incredible blog post on this where pretty much almost all artists go wrong. You can see that behind me, and I'm going to send this to you after the fact. But quickly and succinctly, here's what I would say. The easiest, the best way to sell art, okay, what is it? It's in an art gallery, in person in an art gallery. And there's a reason that all art galleries kind of look like all museums. What do you notice about all of them? It is the art on plain white walls, nicely lit up and nothing else. Where all artists and photographers get this one wrong on their website is they have all kinds of fonts and goofy colors and slideshows and audio and who knows what else, so that if you actually saw the art, it would be a miracle. So I'm going to send you this article after the fact that's going to walk you through all of the things that you need your website to do. I don't want to make today's session just about the website. We do offer websites as a business at Art Storefronts, and I will send you some customer examples of what ours look like after the fact. But I want to make today's session more about the hard-hitting stuff you don't hear anywhere else, the things that you've likely not been taught, the things that no one discusses. And so that's when we get into this concept of new customer acquisition, okay? So if I was to ask you a question, how many new customers did you acquire last year, okay? How would you respond to that? And what I normally get is, Patrick, what? What are you talking about? Well, let's define it, okay? A new customer is defined as someone new that makes a purchase of any product in your lineup. And it can be for any dollar amount, okay? It can be for $5, it can be for $5,000, $50,000, anything in between. The important thing here is that you retain their email for marketing purposes. Now, why is this so important? There are only three ways, count them, to grow an art business. There's bring new customers in the door, which is the one everyone focuses on all the time. How do I get a new customer? How do I get my art in front of new eyeballs? Okay, that's number one. Number two, it's get more revenue out of your customers at the time of purchase. We call this AOV, average order value. And then the third way is to get existing customers to come back and purchase again, okay? But all of this starts with acquiring a new customer. And in this business, okay, the force multiplier of all force multipliers, probably one of the greatest things about being an artist or a photographer is this notion of collectors, okay? The number of collectors an artist or a photographer has represents essentially the base salary to any business. And what is a collector? A collector is someone defined that will purchase multiple pieces of your art over the course of the years. You keep creating and creating and creating, and they just keep buying and buying and buying. It's one of the phenomenons of this particular industry. And this pyramid here, and I'll get myself out of the way so you can see it, represents this entire business so succinctly. It all starts with a transaction. A new customer is acquired. You do regular and consistent marketing, and that brings them back again. That customer buys again. Some percentage will buy again and again and turn into collectors. When you understand this and how important this is to a business, it fundamentally changes the way you operate your business. You have to make sales to new customers. You have to market consistently to those new customers. Some percentage of those folks are going to turn into collectors, and those collectors are going to be with you for the rest of your art creating life. It is the lifeblood of any art or photography business. I've often explained that it's the base salary, it's the 401k, right? It is what you get paid just for creating and getting out of bed in the morning, but it all starts with acquiring a new customer. And so here's the rub though, okay? Here's the rub. Let's just say you're out there doing awesome marketing. You're creating the awesome art, you're doing awesome marketing. And these folks get drawn into your ecosystem. It could be you did an in-person show, or you're posting on Instagram or a Facebook post, or your art is hanging in a dentist office, whatever it is. If those folks are exposed to you, your awesome art, and your marketing message, and they leave without buying, they're gone. The math say they're gone for good. They are now watching cat videos, the cat's playing tetherball in this case, and they're never coming back. And it's very, very important to understand that. And so we need to do everything that we can as artists and photographers to set ourselves up to acquire as many new customers as possible. How do we do that? And I'm going to get into that in a second, but I want to offer this framework because I think it's very, very important, and it's not something that you'll hear anywhere else. I like to operate under a 10x new customer acquisition framework. It is your goal. It's the goal for all of my customers at Art Storefronts. It is my goal for you. Number one, here's how it works. You take the number of new customers that you acquired last year. Again, someone that purchases anything from you in which you retain the information, namely an email address, so you can market to these folks in the future. So take that number, multiply it by 10, and that is your target for 2023. Now let's just break those maths down. Let's say hypothetically that you acquired 70 new customers last year in 2022. Okay, awesome. Let's multiply that by 10. That gives us the number 700. That gives us a monthly target of 58 new customers a month and a daily target of 2 new customers a day, okay? 2 new customers a day. Are you crazy, Patrick? Are you out of your mind? Do you think I'm going to be selling 2 pieces of wall art a day? There's no way. That's crazy. And I'm here to tell you, it's not crazy. When we break these numbers down and we look at these maths, okay, 58 a month, 2 a day, we can start solving for that. It's not some pie in the sky number. What are we going to need to do as an artist or photographer to have a lineup such that we might acquire 2 customers a day, okay? And how we're gonna get there is going to be through our lineup, our pricing and our lineup. Now, side note, another thing I'm going to send you after this webinar ends in the email is a podcast episode I've recorded on this. The Art Marketing Podcast has over 500,000 downloads and over 200, I think, iTunes 5-star reviews. So this is a very hard-hitting podcast, and I did a deep dive on this notion of how many new customers did you acquire last year. Anyway, I'm going to send that to you. But I want to get into pricing and lineup. This is the secret sauce of how we are going to put ourselves in a position to be able to acquire these new customers. Some percentage are going to come back and buy again and then turn into collectors, the holy grail of this business. If we're going to hit that 10x goal, okay, our pricing and lineup needs to be set up for best practices. What does that look like? To get this right, to stand the best chance, you need items priced under $100. You need items priced from $100 to $1,000, and you need items priced over $1,000. Additionally, you need to have non-wall art as part of the lineup. Let's get into it. And everyone always responds, why? What are you talking about? I don't have any of that going on. This bell curve here, okay, what I like to call the budget bell curve, is universally true for everyone. It's true for me and my marketing in Art Storefronts. It's true for you. You're out there doing fairs and shows, let's say, or you're marketing on Instagram, or you're having a gallery show, or again, your art is hung in a dentist's office or a doctor's office, whatever the case may be. You're going to draw people into your ecosystem as a result of those marketing efforts that are going to fall somewhere on this bell curve, okay? At one end, you've got the no budget, and I'll get myself out of the way, the no budget folks, okay? These folks don't have any money. Then you get into the low budget, and then the center of the bell curve, the medium budget folks. That's your average, your sweet spot. Then it goes down to high budget, and then it ends with the whales. It doesn't matter who you are, okay? This is what your audience that you're going to attract into your ecosystem is going to look like. It is incumbent upon you, if you want to get the most ROI, return on investment from those marketing activities, to have prices for everyone on this bell curve, okay? When you do, you're putting yourself in the position to stand the greatest chance to acquire a new customer, no matter where you are, no matter who you're doing, no matter who you get the art in front of. And the crazy thing about this bell curve, what no one understands, it is not a fixed entity, okay? People are going up and down this various different curve throughout their entire lives. And the ones that are on the low end today will probably be on the high end tomorrow and vice versa. So we don't worry about that. We don't have to worry about that. By focusing on our pricing and lineup, we just need to have something for everyone on this curve. And if we're going to hit our 10x customer acquisition goal, we have to have prices for everyone on the curve, okay? Again, this pyramid is the whole ball game. New customers get acquired, you market to them consistently, some small portion become collectors, and those collectors, once you start stacking those guys up, that is how you have an incredibly successful and growing art of photography business. It's just that simple. It's always been this simple. It is just a volume game, the number of new customers acquired, okay? So the non-wall art part. This is so important. This is so critical. So many people gloss over this. So many artists and photographers fail to understand this. Not everybody is ready to buy wall art right now. Not everybody, when you catch them with an Instagram post or they come to your website as a result of an email or they see you at a show and there, not everybody is ready to buy wall art right now. So when you only have wall art in your lineup, there are a whole bunch of people that like you, like what you're doing creatively, like the vibe that you're putting out there, and yet you don't have anything for them to purchase because you don't have non-wall art as your lineup. They're gone. They're watching the aforementioned Cats Playing Tetherball video, and the masks say they're never coming back, okay? You have to have items in your lineup that represent impulse type of buys, that represent I don't have to consult with my significant other and go and measure my wall and do all of these various different things. And so many get this wrong, and it is so critically important. And so, you know, I also have an extremely deep dive blog post, you see it behind me, on how to price your art, and it goes into all the various different ways that you can set your lineup and how to think about how to get 0 to 100 and 100 to 1,000 and 1,000 over. I'm going to send this to you after the fact. Totally recommend you read it. It's an incredible piece of content. So putting this together, you know, the new customer acquisition sweet spot is having your pricing and lineup set, having consistent marketing, and having non-wall art is a part of your lineup. When you have that, okay, you've hit the sweet spot. You're cooking with gas. If you look at this image behind me, there's tote bags, there's postcards, there's small paper prints, there's originals and limited editions on the wall. Kelly has hit, in this case, all of those variables in one little wall in her gallery, and it is so, so important. But don't worry, I'm going to get into the lineup and explain it. And so it's just critical to understand, if we're going to 10x your new customers acquired, we've got to get your lineup in shape. So let's talk about the 5 main media types that I believe all artists and photographers need to have. They need to be experts on. They need to be able to articulate, and most importantly, they need to have in their lineup. There are 5 main media types, okay? Fine art paper. Some like the textured fine art paper, some like gloss if they're photographers. It doesn't matter, you just need to have one. You need to have canvas, you need to have metal, you need to have acrylic, and believe it or not, wood. Wood is an extremely popular media type, and there's some folks that absolutely love it. And so let's get into these, okay? Why do you need to have all these media types, all right? Why do they need to be on hand at all times? And I'm going to get into that in terms of samples in a second. You know, I always use this analogy, okay? And it goes like this. Like, if I was going to hire you to sell kitchen knives for me door to door, when you knocked on those doors, what would you have in your hand? You'd have the knives, wouldn't you? Of course you would have the knives. You would have to be a pretty damn good salesperson or saleswoman to be able to knock on a door with a catalog and say, hey, you want to buy my knives? Here, look at my catalog. No, you have to have the actual media types in your hot little hand. And let me tell you, your customers don't know. Your customers are reliant upon you, the artist or the photographer, to be a subject matter expert, okay? You need to be able to explain the subtle differences between canvas and why it's awesome, and acrylic and metal and wood. We don't know. Normal consumers do not know. You are meant to, this is what you're selling. You are meant to be the subject matter expert in this. And also, never assume you are smarter than your customer, okay? They might really like a certain media type, and you may not even offer it because you don't like it personally. You need to be able to show and tell, and you need to be able to sell. You need to be able to take these 5 media types with you, okay? You're going somewhere in your car, you should have the 5 of them as samples to be able to show off. Going to hang some work in a customer's house, they're getting an original. Why wouldn't you take the samples with you, the 5 media types with you in a little stack and be able to show them off? Oh, you're interested in some art for a bathroom? Well, have you seen what acrylic looks like? Acrylic is amazing. It's a beautiful media type. Very, very important. Also, why it's important to have these 5 media types on hand. Zoom calls, video calls, being able to film them quickly. We have customers on a regular basis. I'm going to tell a story about this in just a moment and show you with pictures. But it is critically important to be able to educate people over a Zoom call, over a Facebook Messenger live chat, or a FaceTime, or however you're doing it, what the media types look like. And then, of course, live art shows, in-person shows, very important to be able to articulate what it is that you're selling. So the good news is that you can get an entire stack of samples, of very, very small samples, and be able to have it with you at all times. They do not need to be big. They do not need to be huge. And I'll grab one up here really quickly and turn my camera on and show you. Like, look, here's a tiny paper print. I'm showing it to you on video. I'm showing you black, wired, ready to hang on your wall. It's beautiful, right? I've got it with me, and it's on my person at all times. And I've got some videos here that I can show you what these ones look like individually, right? Like, you need to be able to show paper. This is the textured fine art paper. You need to be able to show gloss if you're the photographer, show what the glossy prints look like. You need to be able to show what canvas looks like, and the fact that it's printed edge to edge, and the fact that it's going to hang on the wall and it doesn't need to be framed, and also to metal and how thin metal is. Oh, you're decorating a bathroom, metal's incredible. You can get wet and sweat. It's not going to be a problem. It's ready to hang. And then so too with acrylic, and so too with wood, okay? It is critical that you have an entire stack of these samples on hand at all times, as well as the fact of you offering them on their website. Now, I've got an interesting story here. I can articulate what this looks like in the real world. And what have we learned so far? Number one, the importance of having samples on hand. You need to be the subject matter expert. Never think you are smarter than your customer. If you don't like a particular media type, it does not matter. Let your customer decide what media type they want. They are smarter than you are. They are the customer. Number three, small sizes are perfect for quick video selling. And then number four, the easiest customer to get is the one that you've already had, right? There's only 3 ways to grow an art business: acquire a new customer, get more money out of them when they purchase, or get an existing customer to come back. And so this is a customer of ours. Her name's Javelina. Call her Hava. And she had someone interested in a piece of art. And it's a very interesting story. This gal was riding the subway from Brooklyn into the city for work, and she starts messaging Hava, hey, I'm interested in some of your art. And she was interested in this piece to the right, okay? And she was trying to figure out, but I'm not sure. I don't know what media type to get. Should I get acrylic, or photo paper, wood, etc.? And so Hava, because she had her samples on hand, said, no problem. Let me send you some quick video clips and you'll better understand. She sent her the video clips and she made a decision. It was wood in this case. She really wanted to have it because it will sit right on a shelf and be propped up, right? The reason that this sale happened was that Hava had the media types on hand and she was an expert at being able to articulate them. Critically important stuff. Leverage your samples in hand-to-hand combat. Hand-to-hand combat is when you're individually selling, whether digitally or in person. Samples, okay, eliminate the friction of making a purchase. It's why it's so important that you have them on hand. Your job is to just display the options, okay? They get to decide what goes on their wall, or in this case, what goes on their bookshelf, right? And it's fantastic for you, the artist or the photographer, to be the subject matter expert and always be able to go the extra mile to get the sale over the line and eliminate the friction. You know, Zoom calls, video chats, FaceTime messages, text messages, all of it, okay? It all works. Next, I want to get into merch types, right? Non-wall art is a part of our lineup. Critically important. And again, I get back to this 10x customer acquisition, how art and photography business are actually grown. If you're going to be acquiring 2 customers a day, okay, that is heartbreaking. That's like, you have got to be kidding me. But guess what? It's not difficult with merch. That is how we solve for this. It is just really hard. There are very few artists and photographers out there selling 2 pieces of wall art a day. So when you realize that merch gets you there, it changes, and it fundamentally changes the game. And I want to say that it does not matter, okay? It does not matter what the merch is, all right? Us at Art Storefronts, we have a myriad of offerings. There's yoga mats and puzzles and cell phone cases, and there are calendars and greeting cards and coasters and tote bags, a whole myriad of products. Some of my customers hand paint wooden spoons. Some are selling stickers. Some are doing photo books. It does not matter what it is, as long as you have non-wall art is a part of the lineup. These are low commitment, low friction buys. These are ways for the people that you attract into your ecosystem to reward your creativity, because they're not ready to buy wall art right now. Now, I want to show you some customer inspiration, some examples of what this looks like, right? Of the marketing that you're going to be able to do when you offer something that's a little bit different. And you can see I've got I'm going to get my fat head out of the way. There's Instagram handles in here. So if any of these artists pique your interest, you can go and follow them, and you can see how they're doing their marketing. In this case, this is a gal named Candace Seslow, and she does a great job with the tote bags, merchandising these products. She's got her dog in it. It's on brand. She's got this beautiful shot right next to the ocean. Staying on the dog theme for a second, this is Allison Cantrell. She specializes in custom pet portraits, and you can see she's got the pet portrait. She's got a beautiful one on a throw pillow. She's got one on a wood print up on the wall, or an acrylic print up on the wall, rather. Might be metal, actually. And then she's also got coffee mug, okay, with her little dog on it. No matter what, she has got something for everyone on that budget bell curve. And when you offer all these various different merch types, you now have the ability to sell no matter what. Someone can come in, reward you for their creativity, and you will make sales all up and down that budget bell curve. Alan here I love, because his photographs are extremely, extremely colorful, and he does a great job merchandising, putting them all together. He's got the tote bag on a bench, and he's got a throw pillow on a shelf in an office, and matching coffee cups. You know, he can layer all of these merch products up like this and sell them as a set, and somebody's got a great lineup of Christmas gifts to give away. You know, these things are beautiful, and they just non-wall art, part of the lineup. You can see how Hava, the example from earlier, how she does it. She does a great job. We need you, 100% of you, to have these samples on hand. Understand what it is that you're selling and be able to show it off in person. So fundamentally important, and yet almost none of you have the actual products that you sell, your creations, in the wall art format, in the merch format, right? Like, normal human beings, not you artistically talented folks, do not have your incredible powers of visualization, okay? We cannot take an image, a 2D image off your Instagram account, and visualize it on our walls like you guys can. We need to see the real thing, the thing that we're lusting after, the thing that we want to have in our hot little hand, right? Like, here is a wood print of your photo of Positano. I need to be able to see that I can put that on a shelf in my house, that it's easy to hang. It fundamentally changes the game when you have your samples on hand, and especially when you have non-wall art samples as well. And so again, this entire equation, it becomes solvable when you have the prices 0 to 100, okay? 100 to 1,000, 1,000 plus. Non-wall art is a part of the lineup. Critically, critically important. And a final point on merch. Like, I get so much pushback from artists and photographers out there. Patrick, I would never sell merch. I'm not going to sell any of this cheap tchotchke crap. To which I reply, when is the last time that you went into a museum that did not have a gift shop? Don't worry, I'll wait. Go ahead and let me know what museum that was. If Van Gogh's art can be on the wall and you can buy a calendar of Stormy Night in the gift shop, or Starry Night rather, in the gift shop, along with everything else, it's okay for you to sell this stuff too. There is a reason these museums have a gift shop. They're businesses at the end of the day, right? So understand the importance of having the non-wall art. And further, you're not going to make a ton of money on merch. No one does, not unless you're selling millions of them. It does not matter, okay? I've spent my life as a digital marketer trying to get folks' attention. In today's day and age, that means the social media sites, it means advertising on them. But guess what? I can only get your attention when you're on your cell phone or when you're on your computer. Your merch products go the places no Facebook ad or no Instagram ad or post or email can, okay? It goes into your customer's real world physical life. They might come from you and buy that pillow that's behind me. And that pillow might sit on that chair for 3 years. And every day they look at it and their cat sits on it. And then guess what? All of a sudden, they're ready to buy wall art. Who is going to be top of mind to those folks, all right, when they're ready to buy wall art? You are, because you got that merch in there. You know, I contemplate the stickers, right? Like, I don't want to sell stickers. That's so cheesy. But guess what? I came to your booth. You were having a show there. I liked what you did, but I wasn't ready to buy wall art. I bought a package of your stickers for $5. You got my email address. I took that sticker and slapped it on my garage fridge. Now, every day that I go out to my garage fridge to get a drink, you are top of mind. I am looking at your art every single solitary day. And now I'm ready to purchase wall art. I just bought my second home. And guess who's top of mind? It's you. You're the one getting those sales. So it's so, so important. You have to include the merch. Next, I want to talk about marketing your art, okay? It's consistency, you guys. Consistency is where 99.5% of artists and photographers fail. It is their biggest miss. It's just not marketing consistently. And I get it. It's difficult to do so. None of you like marketing. None of you want to do the marketing. You all just don't want, you just want to create, and you want someone to take care of everything else. And we instinctively know this as a business at Art Storefronts, which is why we've created what we're calling Copilot. And it's the most advanced art marketing system on the planet. It is your art marketing done for you by art marketing professionals, individuals on our in-house team. And what do we do exactly? We post to Facebook for you. We send emails on your behalf. We post to Instagram for you, and we run sales campaigns for you. And we do all of this without you having to lift a finger. Why would we do that? And I'll tell you, it's because you guys are your own worst enemy. Number one, you don't like marketing. Number two, you're tech challenged, most of you. Number three, you're terrified of running sales. You never run enough of them. You're a perfectionist, okay? And the end result of that perfectionism is not posting enough, not emailing enough, and not doing it consistently, okay? None of you do it consistently. A great many of you don't believe in marketing and sales, and so you end up phoning in the efforts because you don't have the courage of your convictions, which is why we created Copilot. And when you combine the best art selling website on the planet, your work, and Copilot, is when things really start taking off, okay? I'm just going to show off a couple of quick testimonials of the results of this brand new service that we're offering, which is blown away. You go from situations where you're not gaining followers and you start gaining followers. Why? Because you're actually posting consistently and daily and several times a day. You go from not making sales at all because you don't believe in the sales and marketing process, and all of a sudden you are making sales. It starts small. It was coasters in Jason's case here. Then you start picking up steam. The marketing goes out regularly and consistently, and you're selling your first original from the website and a couple of canvas prints, right? It heats up from there. Because we are sending emails on your behalf, all of a sudden you're bringing sales up and down the stack, 3 sales in this case, for not even having to lift a finger, right? It starts helping and working immediately. In Ariel's case, she was 8 days into our Copilot service and making sales to strangers, small at first, but that's how it starts. And then it really, really starts picking up steam. Pete here was down sick with COVID. And ended up selling 5 pieces because we were running all of his marketing for him. Kim sold over $5,000 in one sale and 7 originals as a result of our marketing efforts on her behalf. So where do we go from here? I've chewed up 30 minutes of your time. 1, thanks for sticking it out to the end of this webinar. 2, I am going to send you actually just the end of that webinar. You know, the reality is that we're almost 10 years in business, and I think close to 10,000 customers. Maybe we have like 9,500 customers or something. And I've spent the last, like, I don't know, call it 6 years of my life trying to get my customers to market consistently. And by doing that every way imaginable. Like, you know, here's the day to run a sale. Here's what you post on Facebook. Here's what you post on Instagram. Here's how you make them all dovetail with one another. Um, Here's the email language that you can send. Okay, we have to tease the sale. We have to announce the sale. Here's what you do during. Here's what you do after. And the reality is that even with all those guides and in-person sessions and Zoom sessions like this, almost no one wants to do it consistently. People do not like marketing. It is very, very difficult. And when you don't have the courage of your convictions, you often phone in the effort. And so it's never as efficacious as it possibly could be. So there was a lot to process and chew on in that. I know a ton of stuff that we covered. You can ask any questions about any of those things, any questions about anything else that we do at Art Storefronts. What I normally do is for those that have their cameras on, if you have a question, all you have to do is raise your hand. I'll likely see that, and then I can unmute you and bring you on. For everybody else, if you look at the bottom of this Zoom window, there's like a little smiley face thing, and it says reactions. If you click that, it gives you the ability to raise your hand, digitally speaking, and that will let me know, hey, you've got a question, you want to come on. For those that are watching on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, I see your questions. I can answer those as well. And then you can certainly throw questions into the chat also. You don't need to turn your camera on if you don't want to turn your camera on. I hate being on camera, but it's my job, so here I am. And it usually just takes one brave person to start. Wes, was that a question, Wes? All right, good. I love it. You're first. Go ahead, Wes. And you'll need to unmute mic icon bottom left-hand corner.
There you go.
Gotcha.
Okay. What's the average sales for not your rock star, but your average sales first year, second year, third year?
Oh, I wish there was an easy way to benchmark it. Like we've been doing this for so long now, and I've like tried to run the data and analyze the data and try to get something like resembling like a decent trend, and there's just way too many variables in the equation. We had people that come on board first year and are at 6 figures first year. Highly irregular, but it happens. And I have no explanation for why some of these people can pull this off. We have some people that struggle intensely until year 3 to even earn their investment back. And we have everything in between. We have a bunch of people, probably 80% of our customer base has full-time jobs, so they're not full-time artists. So we probably have an 80-20 there. What I can say is that independent of all those different variables, because you guys don't market consistently, because you've never done that in your life, because you don't know how to properly run sales, if you have a subject matter that actually resonates with your audience, we will get you sales immediately. If you don't, that is not necessarily a death knell. Like I've had a significant portion of our customers come on board, and the art that they created originally was just not something that was selling. It doesn't mean they're a crappy artist. It doesn't mean they're a crappy photographer. It just means they did not get a subject matter material that resonated. And so we actually teach how to pivot and how to try different styles. And some people get there that way. So it's a crystal ball question, right? Like there's no easy way to benchmark it, and it's a wrong way to look at your business. Like, okay, well, if their average guy does this, then I'll probably do this, and that's what I'm looking for. So anybody that tells you otherwise is completely full of it and selling snake oil. I don't know if that answered. Wes is like, okay. Did that help?
Not really.
Yeah.
There must be. I mean, can't you total the all your sales and come up with some kind of an average?
Yeah, we potentially could, but like, how do you drop the lows? How do you drop the highs? Like, if I had to do back of napkin, I would probably say average first year sales. I don't know, probably somewhere below 10 grand. But I would say probably first year. But also, most people don't come in with a list. They come in with very little social media following. They've never done any marketing at all, and so they have to learn, and they have to build those muscles up. Now, on the tail end of the webinar there, like our newest offering, Copilot, we're starting to do the marketing for some of our customers, and that's helping out tremendously. This last little Mother's Day sale that we had, everybody ran, ended up being one of our biggest weeks in the history of the company in terms of what we sold outside of Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and that's just because we got everyone to run the sale by doing it for them, which is really, really important. So that's what I would say. Have you sold your work before?
Yes.
How did you used to do it? Were you in a gallery, or did you do fairs and shows, or how'd you do it?
Yeah,
galleries. Yeah.
few sales, but yes.
Yeah. It's hard in the galleries. I think like that paradigm of like how to come up and build an art business is just getting absolutely obliterated. And the internet is making it possible so that you can just reach so many people that you don't need the gallery. But independent of everything else, like there is no long-term way to build and sustain an art business unless you know who is purchasing your work so that you can acquire collectors. And that's not talked about enough. And when you sell at a gallery, you have no idea who's purchasing your work. You can't market to them, and you take a 50% haircut on every single solitary sale that you make. And it's just not a long term viable plan for building a successful art business. I mean, the sheer volume of artists and photographers have been doing these webinars like almost 3 days a week for like 3 years. Almost no one comes in making over six figures at a gallery. Almost no one. It's like playing a sport versus making it the pro level, like the ones that actually really do well in the galleries. So that's kind of my 2 cents on that.
One more question. How does
Please.
Art Storefront make their money?
So we are kind of like a website company in the sense that we charge a monthly fee for our websites. And then, we have this army of people that are going to support you for the rest of your career. And so it's kind of like your part getting the whole technology solution, your part enrolling yourself in a university. So we charge a tuition one time to get into the university. We charge a monthly fee on the websites, and that's how we do it.
Do you make money off of fulfillment?
No, not in we have like 3 or 4 different plans. Some of them, and Ann was asking about this earlier. Some of them have transaction fees, and some of them don't. Meaning, like when a transaction happens, we take a fee, and you have the opportunity to be on transaction fees or not be on transaction fees, depending on what you want to do. So in some cases, yes. In some cases, no. But it's a nice thing to have the fulfillment done for you. Like it's just not something that artists and photographers should be worried about or bothering. An order comes in, you get paid, printer gets paid, printer prints it, printer boxes it, printer ships it. You don't have to touch a thing or lift a finger in any portion of that. Anything happens to the prints, you're covered. It's instantaneously taken care of. They print out a new one, ship it off, and you don't have to touch anything there either. So it's a handy system to have. Artists and photographers need to be creating more work and doing the marketing where they can. That's it. Nothing else.
How does the sales accounting take place?
So you
How
have
do I get
everything.
it done other than let me know that you sell too?
Yeah. So all of it is transparent in the back end. You have a back end dashboard that lists all of it. And are you asking for accounting purposes, or are you asking for accounting, or just to know?
How do you account for the sales? How does the artist know
Oh
what
yeah,
you're selling?
yeah. So in the back end of your site is like a dashboard that has everything, all kinds of data in there, but all of your sales, all of your add to carts, all of your contacts, and it's all your information. Like the artist or the photographer owns absolutely everything with us. We don't own anything. Good.
Yeah.
Thanks, Wes. I don't feel like I've convinced Wes, but okay. Thanks for the questions. Um, so Anne, hopefully that answers your question on you know, she asking what percentage of our ASF clients are successful. Yeah, it all hinges upon how you define success. Like we have people that want to sell $10,000 a year, and that's what they want to do. We have people that want to sell $1 million a year. We have people that want to quit their day job. We have people that want to, what's the word I'm looking for? Add to the income that they have in their photographic service businesses. So again, there's no magic bullet answer, either for Wes's or for that one. But we're super transparent both with our review system and like what our customers like. You can go on to Facebook and go to our reviews tab, and there's like I don't even know how many 200 of them on there. You can send any of those folks messages. They're actual customers, and Facebook makes it so easy because you can just hit send message, and boom, you're right into their messenger inbox. So we're super transparent. You can ask. But we have everything. We have really successful people. We have people that are struggling. We have people in the middle. We have people that are in year 5, and their businesses are really starting to hum. It's a huge, super diverse group. Okay. So Paul's asking, do you have a recorded webinar to watch the process of the client purchasing print, chooses sizes and options, and how the photographer uploads to your site in that process? So what we do is we do like this same webinar and this same time slot on Wednesday, on Friday. I actually think on Tuesday. No, on Wednesday and on Friday. They'll show all of that. I mean, I could show all of it in 2 seconds. I could give you a website address and you could go through the process right now and then just leave before you order. It's very, very smooth and seamless. In fact, why don't I just pull one up? I might as well just pull one up. And we have a couple of different page types. Like we have like some that are like super quick purchase page types. Let me see if I can get this up. Hold on, it's gonna take me a second. I wasn't ready to screen share. Just bear with me, guys. Get that out of the way. Get this ugly thing out. Oh, that's wrong. All right. So here's the site. That's a buddy of mine's, guy William Stidham. I'm logged in here. Hold on. So we have these little tooltips that guide everyone through it. You can do instant checkout, in which case, like, it is super fast, you know, and this little drawer will slide out on the side, and you can put in a card number, and done. So that's one way to check out, which is really, really quick, but that doesn't really help if you're gonna adjust things, right? So you can see I'm looking at this one now. I could choose watercolored paper or canvas. It comes in different sizes. I can decide whether or not I want it gallery wrapped. And then I can add it to the cart, and then I can go to the cart. It basically works just like, you know, any other sort of e-commerce shopping cart. We have some really cool visualization tools too. So you can see the art on the wall, and you can change various different room templates, and you can change the wall color. We have a really cool feature too that it's called live preview with AR, so people can use their cell phones and see the work on their own wall by projecting your art on the wall, which is a pretty cool feature too. So they can show you that, you know, in the demo, which is neat, which is an easy way to do it. Sherry's saying you can't see my screen. You might need to pin me. I think everyone else was able to see the screen. Nicole's asking, what is the monthly fee to set up a website, and what is the difference in pricing if you opted in for Copilot? So Copilot is just like, you know, a monthly, and then Michael, I'll get you next. I don't even know what the fee is on Copilot. You would have to ask Nicole, but they usually do like all kinds of crazy bundled package, this, that, and the other deals. And so if you talk to somebody on the phone, they'll tell you. The Copilot, I cannot even begin to tell you how awesome that is, and the level of success that we're seeing already. And it's not because we're so super sweet. It's because no one ever markets consistently, not even my customers. It's like trying to get pull teeth sometimes to get them to go. But Michael, you're up next. Go ahead. You'll need to unmute, Michael. Just mic icon, bottom left-hand corner. Just click that thing once. So if you look at the bottom of your Zoom window, little mic icon, left-hand corner, if you just click that, and then there we go. Yep, now I got you.
I host Zoom meetings myself. I've been a professional for over 40 some years, doing everything from family portraits, weddings, to now nothing but commercial work.
Nice.
But I'm looking to move into, I'm hitting the point where I'm done. I'm done in the commercial business.
Yeah.
And wanting to move over into landscape work. And something that is probably a little bit more passive income rather than actively marketing to clients that I've currently have. I do collect emails.
You would be surprised though, because one thing that I found of people in your situation that have like this long history is the minute that you let that existing customer base know that you're also selling your fine art, you'd be surprised how that translates into orders, because those folks know, like, and trust you and have loved your photographic eye for the years and years and years. So don't discount those guys as a little shot in the arm when you're getting started. Really important.
Well, I've always still been working with landscape photography, no matter where I'm at, wherever I travel. I produce this stuff that's sometimes in the market that I'm currently in, I overprice myself. And people go, oh, you want that much money for it? So I do a lot of, since I'm a chamber member, as a photographer, I donate my services to all the community events. And they take it for free. Post it up on social media, website, whatever. But it's, you know, heavily identified as my name and my business name.
Mm-hmm.
And people do recognize me when I sit in the chamber booth, and they go, "Oh, you're Mike Lee. Oh, I've seen all your work over the years."
Mm-hmm.
I said, "I hope so."
Mm-hmm.
I
Now
said,
start buying it. Yeah.
but it's, it's family stuff, Halloween stuff, whatever community event that I'm photographing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not necessarily sellable, or at least I don't see it as being sellable.
It
At one
it it
point,
can be, but it's sort of a different business, right? Like,
right.
it's
I'm,
you're yeah.
I'm doing a community service
Yeah.
essentially, but I've been a I started in landscape work like many other photographers and turned it into a business. But once I got into weddings and portraits in the 80s and 90s, I finally stepped away from that because everybody was giving their wedding photography away. And I was averaging $10,000 for basically every wedding I shot. People would go, "How do you do that?" And I said, "It's all about your image and projecting." Now I'm looking for something a little bit more passive,
Mm-hmm.
not being so aggressive, if I can say it that way. I don't know if that's the right term,
Mm-hmm.
but um, I'm looking at, where am I going to go from here?
Yeah.
I don't want to build another website, built too many of them over the
Well, you
years.
know what? You don't have to do that with us. We build the whole thing for you. So that's out.
Now, one more
Mm-hmm.
question that I'm concerned with,
Mm-hmm.
since I'm a merchant processor, so I already take credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are going to be collecting the money,
No, no,
and
no, no, no. So pretty much one of the biggest companies in the world that does merchant processing online is Stripe. I don't know if you're familiar with them or not. We just
yeah,
have everybody sign up with a Stripe account, and then we're not like in that transaction at all. Like, it's Stripe is
okay,
hooked up directly to your bank, and when
okay.
when something transacts, the money gets deposited to your bank, the printer gets paid, and the order goes out.
Because one of my current labs, um, my current lab, I post to their image hosting
Mm-hmm.
thing. They collect, some client that's actually paid me. Now they're looking for more work.
Mm-hmm.
They pay for it through that image hosting service,
Mm-hmm.
and my lab takes a cut out of that and then deposits the balance in directly into my account. So with you guys, it's going straight to my account,
Correct.
whatever they purchase.
Correct. Yeah. And you
Okay,
could what you would probably do is, like, do the quote, put the item in the store, put it on a page that's hidden, and then just send it to them. And then boom, they can go right in and just purchase it that way. It takes 2 seconds. You don't even have to set it up. Our people will set it up for you. And then,
okay,
because it would be I forget what we call it, non-standard products. We have some name for it. But anyway, we take nothing on that. The only thing you're out is the credit card merchant processing fee that Stripe charges everyone, like whatever the 0.5%
yeah,
it is, whatever
yeah,
that is. Yeah.
okay,
But I also, too, like, one of the things that infuriates me to no end, and I'll say this because I know there's other photographers on here. So many have a service business, right? In the service business, at the end of the day, you're trading dollars for hours. You cap out, right? You can only get so big and charge so much, and that's it. You can't grow the business anymore. So then you get into a situation, and I mean, don't even get me started with weddings. I mean, it's like one of the easiest burnout businesses ever. Every single solitary rad weekend, you're away from your family, and it's hard, right? Um, but anyway, one of the things that infuriates me is, like, there's so many photographers now that do the service portion of the business, and then they just turn over the images after the fact and they're done. And it's like, what are you doing? Okay, you are leaving money on the table. The way to grow that business is to increase your AOV, your average order value, and you can do that by raising prices. But you hit a ceiling there because they're like, your stuff's not that good. I'm going to go hire your competitor for half the rate. But where you can get it, you can make it up, is in the print revenue. And not every single solitary time are they going to want to order prints, but most photographers don't even offer it, right? Like, go back to my sample analogy. Like, my buddy's wife, okay, she has these spots nailed, and we all have kids, and she sets up in the park for 2 days and takes everyone's Halloween photos or holiday photos or Easter photos or Christmas photos, whatever it is. And then she hands over the images. And I'm like, Jess, What the hell are you doing? No one wants to go and take these things to Costco or Walgreens or somewhere else and figure out how to order a print. Why don't you just tell me, hey, here are the options. Go onto my website, you can order them. And so I finally got her to start doing that. And she thanks me all the time because instead of earning $500 a session, she's now averaging $850 a session. Because what ends up happening is that I have these kid photos. My wife wants to order a couple. She goes on and orders a couple. Then Christmas comes along and she's like, oh, my mom saw the kids' photos. Now she wants them in her house. And then so she comes back and they order again. And so it's like now you're banging $350 more per session just because you have the ability to offer all of these prints and you don't have to do anything. They just go onto your website, order, and it ships. So don't minimize the potential of that revenue source. It's real. It is absolutely real because no one wants to go and do that. I don't want to go take my photos somewhere else. I just want to know someone's an expert and they can handle it, you know?
I've always felt that, especially when I made the transition into digital capture in the late 90s. And I went, no one really knows what to do with all these digital files that they're creating.
Yeah.
I probably, being a professional photographer, I do this all the time. I'm 100% capture and digital.
Yep.
I do sell some of my schools. In fact, some of my clients will not only order the digital file, they'll also order prints.
Yep.
Why?
Yep.
Because they don't want to hassle with Walgreens, CVS,
Exactly.
or any of the other.
Exactly.
So I'm always already doing digital plus prints. So I know that works.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And don't undercharge for your digital files.
No, don't do that.
I've argued with clients who said, this goes back 15 some odd years ago. And they go, you charge $40 for a digital file? Yes. Well, I have a photographer that says he does it for $5. And I go,
use him.
It's undercharging.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm just looking for another avenue to get stuff out.
Yeah, we can help you. We can help you.
More generic and more, I've already captured my clients with digital files plus prints. And of course, my lab prints them, sends them directly to them. I don't have to even be at all involved in that sale.
Yeah.
Other than here's my work.
Yep. Very important.
That's you're doing basically the same model as my lab is, and that's fine.
Yeah. We have some extra bells and whistles, but yeah, you should see a demo. We'll send you some emails.
Yeah.
Thanks, Michael. Okay. If anyone else has questions, you can raise hands and let me know. I have a question in the chat, which is an interesting one I get all the time, and it has to do with limited editions and what's the best way to do limited editions. Do I have to hand sign them? Should I just use a digital signature? Does it not matter at all putting the signature on it? And here's kind of what we recommend our customers do. One, I like giving the customer the option to get it or not get it, because some people are price sensitive and they're like, I don't care about the signature. I really don't. If you want to put it on digitally, fine. Just do it digitally. I don't care. But if they want to have it hand signed, where things change in that situation, Paul, is that then instead of the order going to your customer, then the order comes to you. You delicately unwrap the thing, pull the piece out, sign it, put it right back in the packaging, zip it back up, and then ship it to them. So you're going to incur some extra shipping charges because of the double shipping, once to you, once to them. So in that situation, I advise that my customers charge a little bit more for it, and then also have the inexpensive option. And if they want to pay for it, they want to pay for it. Also, it gives you the opportunity to sort of stretch your pricing range out a little bit. Like normally it's like, hey, here's the piece that I have, it's signed, whatever, it's $400. Okay, well now you can do no signature $350, you can do digital signature $450, or you can do hand signed $650, right? Or $550, and then you let your customers decide. And if the signature is important to them, then they have the opportunity to go and do that. So that's kind of how we like to do it. And yes, Nicole, the shipping is worldwide. One of the benefits that we have of the print partners that we've selected, and we work with Bay Photo on the West Coast, and then we have a similar size operation called Graphic Dimensions. It's the same size as Bay Photo, but they're not like a forward-facing thing. They do commercial prints essentially. They're both doing like $40 to $50 million a year in prints, and so when they do that, when you're shipping that volume, you get insane rates at FedEx and UPS, and so oftentimes it's very cost effective to ship internationally. That being said, and thank God for this, art has not been Amazonified yet. What do I mean? The expectation is not that everything ships for free, and thank God for that, right? So international folks know they need to pay more for shipping, so we just advise people to take the order and then sort the shipping after the fact. Just get the order in, right? But yes, you can leave it to them, and they can ship internationally. So that's what I would say. And we have a bunch of like weird situations too, where we have like, you know, customers in Australia and New Zealand, and it's like, okay, get a local printer for Australia and New Zealand so that you can deal with those orders domestically, because you don't want those being shipped from California or from Georgia or wherever the other place is. And then, you know, for all your North American orders, you can use us and do it that way. But yeah, all the options are there and sort of on the cover. Yeah, interesting part about it. And you're very welcome. Who else, guys? Questions? Comments, concerns? Can be anything about anything. Everyone's like, no, huh? Not really. Okay. Well, I will send you guys a follow-up email that will have various different links to various different things. Definitely recommend, if you're interested, if this piqued your interest, to go and get a demo. You can either, and the demo is basically just like this. It's a Zoom call, except they walk you through all the software, all the bells, all the whistles, all the packages, all the plans, all the everything. And they, you know, it's very hands-on. And you can either attend that in a group session. Again, it's at this exact same time slot, Wednesday or Friday. I'll email you about it. Or if you want to get a personalized one, you can do that too. You know, there's buttons all over our website everywhere. And they'll call, set it up, and then you can have a one-on-one. They can walk you through everything too. So that's what I would say. Yeah, Mark, I can-ish. I'm not the best person to talk to. He's talking about like what the plans are, and all the plans are. I can give you the basic range. You know, we're certainly not the inexpensive option. You know, we've been at this for like a long time now, and we started out with just the websites. We're like, okay, these are the best art selling websites. We're gonna have a huge business. This is gonna be awesome. Turns out though, none of you guys have a damn website problem. Okay, you have a marketing problem. You could have the best website in the world, but if no one's coming to it, then no sales are happening. So then we started teaching our customers to market, and we've got all this information on marketing and how you do that, and guides and playbooks and videos and da. Still not enough. Then we started running classes saying, hey, Mother's Day is coming up. Here's the Mother's Day sale. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what I need you focused on, all that, right? Still not enough. And so now we've taken the next logical step, which is we are now marketing for our customers. So which is a crazy thing. But, you know, we get compared a lot to like a lot of the other outfits and operations out there, and there's not a single solitary one that offers even half of what we offer. We're pretty comprehensive in what we do. And so, as I was telling, I think, was it Wes? I think it was Wes earlier. You pay a monthly fee for your website, and then you pay a one-time fee for all the marketing awesomeness, and that's how we charge. And I don't know what our bottom plan starts at. I think it's like $1,300 or $1,200 down, and then $49 a month, something like that. And this is the range that we're in. But again, you know, there's a reason that we're not the cheapest outfit in town, is because the only thing that we care about is our customers being successful. And if they're not successful, we don't have a doggone business. And so everything that we offer is what we believe that it takes for you guys to start selling right out of the gates and actually growing the business. Yeah, there is, Paul. Absolutely there is. Paul's asking if you subscribe or start your service, and is there an option to put it on hold if something gets in the way? Yeah, there is. 100% there is. We're like, you know, we're 10 years in business, and fine, we're like 9,500 customers, but we're still a very small company in terms of like culture. Like, you know, if you're in and you're 3 months in and you're having a terrible time and you hate us and you think we suck and we defrauded you, you let them know, and they're going to let you out of it. It's not that type of an operation. And if you come on hard times, they can put your plan on hiatus. And you won't lose anything. And the artist owns absolutely everything with us. It's your URL. It's your website. Yes, we host it for you. So, you know, everything is yours with us. So there's no like lock-in or, you know, any of the rest of that nonsense. It's stupid games all the rest of them play. So all of that is going on too. But yeah, that's what I would say. Any finals, guys, before we wrap it up? No? Tom Fields and wife, presumably, in the car. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I say this all the time, but I had a guy, a UPS guy, okay, brown suit on, the whole thing, and he had his cell phone like this. And he's driving the UPS truck and talking to me, and I was like, okay, this is equal parts awesome, but I'm a little bit worried because you keep looking at this thing and not on the road. He goes, okay, hold on. And he would stop, go into the back of the truck. He'd be like, 2 seconds, the door's right there. And he would go and run, and everyone's watching this in the Zoom window. He would go and run and put it down on the doorstep, and then he'd come right back in and be like, okay. And then he'd start driving again. It's hilarious. It's an amazing world we live in with the technology. But thanks for sticking out with me, guys. I hope you all have wonderful weeks. I hope you found it informative. Any additional follow-up questions you have, I'll send you an email. You can reply to it. Ask me whatever you like, and hope to see you either on the inside or on a future session. And yeah, have a great rest of your day. Bye, guys.